up today.
You woke up? Every day above ground is a good day.
Exactly. Everything else is temporary.
Yeah. Good quote to live by. How are you doing?
Doing good, just taking it one day at a time, honestly, just making sure I'm staying consistent, honestly.
You've been working a lot. You've been traveling a lot. You've been going to Toronto. What has been your favorite part about everything you've been doing, let's say in the last couple months?
Honestly, impacting others. Like, I feel like I put a lot of people in position to do what they want to do, and that makes me happy,
Mm-hmm.
you know? Especially when they don't believe in themselves or think they can do it, and then, like, they do it, and it's like, wow, and they have different type of respect for you, too. You know?
It shows in the work that you're doing. So, this is my first time getting a chance to interview you. So, I want to ask you a little bit about your backstory. And I mean, I got a chance, I know you a little bit, but I want to know a little bit more about where you came from. I know you said that you worked at Deloitte as a data capturer before getting into what you're doing now. So how did you go from data capturing at Deloitte, one of the top consulting firms in the entire world, to now being a creative marketer, entrepreneur, multifaceted entrepreneur?
I think, well, first, while I was working with Deloitte in Iron Mountain, because we're working on a project, I was honestly engineering at the time, and I still had my record label with like my artists, but I just felt like I didn't have enough time to really like hone in on what I was doing.
Wait, so you've been working in the music industry. You were working in the music industry even as you were doing consulting.
Correct.
Really? Wait, when did you get started in the music industry? With your record label or with artists? When did that start?
Seriously, 2017.
Okay. And how did all of this happen?
2016, 2017. So basically, one day I was in the room with one of my friends, one of my business partners now, NateTaylorr, and he would just make beats all the time, and he would complain about he didn't have nowhere to record. So one day I was just like, bro, when I move, I'm going to build you a studio, and let's see. Because, he would make music every day, like, in front of me. So I'm like, you have the drive, Like, I like that.
Yeah.
So, from there, we set it up. I plugged them with an engineer by the name of Max Blue, and the rest is history. So the craziest part is I ended up dropping out of school. We both were in college at the time. We were in the same class, so we were hanging out a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I signed him up for this contest. He didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
So I just signed him up anyway. I paid for it, whatever. It was like 200 artists in Jersey. Peter Rosenberg was the judge. He won out of all the artists.
This was in 2016, 2017?
This was in 2016.
And you had no experience working in the music industry prior to that? You were just like, I'm going to build you a studio. I'm going to sign you up to do this competition.
Get you shows. I just, I try to adapt to everything that he needed. And I had a little bit of money at the time, so I didn't really care, And then from there, I just felt like he made everything in my basement in a sense. So I'm like, bro, if we just won this contest and I know you didn't know everything you were doing, I believe in what we're doing.
Yeah.
So I called my mom right then and there at the venue. Mom dropping out. And I dropped out just like that.
That's crazy. So you just had this blind faith telling you, I'm going to do this. Where did all that stem from? Like, where did that blind faith come from? Have you always been entrepreneurial? Have you always been a leader?
The crazy part is I was never into, like, music like that. Like, I had, like, certain
you didn't like music?
No, I like music. I just didn't go out of my way to look for it.
Okay.
And I didn't want to do anything with music.
Yeah.
I was just always, like you said, an entrepreneur. I always knew I was going to do something business-wise. And I was selling sneakers in high school, hats. In elementary school, I was selling SIM cards. Like the bleep. Where you at? I was selling those.
Those cars.
Like my mom was like, "Yo, you were like, I don't know what you're doing, but you're doing something."
Yeah, you're selling the chocolates.
She always embraced like me just being an entrepreneur because she was as well.
Yeah. And
that's kind of how I got into the music space, and from there I kind of just adapted. I started throwing concerts because we were getting messed over a lot, paying for shows. They would put you first. So I was like, I'll throw my own show. Put my artist as a headliner too. From there I built, and then I figured out I wasn't good at it. I lost a lot of money. And when COVID happened, that's when I really got into the digital marketing space. And I was working with Deloitte and Iron Mountain at the time.
So you were still working at Deloitte before COVID and slightly during COVID.
Correct.
And while you were building up your music business.
Correct.
Cool.
So what's crazy is, we had a break to where basically the contract had ended and COVID was like, we weren't gonna get enough work done.
Yeah.
So I wasn't planning on going back because I was like, I had so much time. I learned how to do the ads. Like we were seeing so much success. And then it got to a point where one of my old bosses called me. He's like, yo, I need you back here. Like, I want you to like teach everybody like the ropes. And I'm like, I don't want to, you know?
Deloitte, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I'm like, I don't want to. But then I did it anyway. Ended up not working. And that was like a blessing in disguise. I never looked back. I've never had another job after that.
Wow. So it was a sign. It was like you went back, you tried it, you realized you didn't like it, and then you weren't afraid to pivot because you'd already been doing stuff in the music industry. So you brought whatever experience you had into what you're doing now, and again, had blind faith to, just move forward.
Exactly.
That's crazy. To hear your story and to know about where you came from, dropping out of school, also, working at one of the best consulting firms in the world and deciding, that wasn't the path for you. Because who knows? You could have gone from data capturing to being one of the top consultants at Deloitte. But you're like, fuck that. I'm going to go and do my own thing, run my own business. And now you're traveling all over the world, really, in order to build your business. That's insane.
It is crazy. And working for someone it never sat with me, like
Same.
it didn't work with me, I didn't like being told what to do,
We're
it
rebels.
just wasn't it. And, I never looked back after that. And certain situations where people didn't believe in like a lot of things that I like, the ideas I had.
Yeah.
But some people did. And the people that did, they got blessed a lot because some of the things landed them in scenarios where they couldn't see it at the time, but they were like, you know what? You feel passionate about it. It's not that much money to me to landing a placement with an artist who's now one of the biggest artists in the world.
Yeah.
3 years later, now you have that relationship. Now I have the relationship where it was just an idea. You know? So that's what I love about being an entrepreneur and being a creative is just, being able to have a thought and make it happen.
Yeah. What have been some of the biggest challenges that you faced in building up your name and building up your brand as an entrepreneur? I'm sure there are a lot of that.
There is a lot. Honestly, just not having like the right team. I feel like I have to do a lot of things on my own.
Yeah.
Which is a good and bad thing. So it takes longer. It takes a lot longer. And when you are the leader out of your group, it takes even longer because like you are the, you're the test dummy.
Yeah. And you're doing pretty much everything at once, trying to do it well. But sometimes when you're doing everything at once,
you're gonna lack somewhere.
Yeah. So the people that you're working with now, tell me about them. I know you have Nate, who's your business partner.
So I have NateTaylorr, I have 7 Late Nights, I have G, I have PayPay, I have All Real, and I have some producers as well. So I have Wybima, I have Cody, and JJ.
And how are you feeling about them now? I won't tell them that if you say anything.
Everyone's doing good. I just still feel like my energy is not being matched. And I want to say that in this interview just so like they understand like I shouldn't be outworking you guys. If anything, match my energy or be working harder than me because you are the talent,
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, I'm sure that it's when you're working, because I, as an entrepreneur myself, I'm sure when you're working with people who are excited about their work and passionate about it, it drives you even further.
Exactly.
Especially because you come from, where in New Jersey again?
Freehold, New Jersey.
Where's that?
It's in Central Jersey.
Got
so
you.
by the beach, by the shore.
Okay, got
Everyone
you.
knows that.
Got you. All right, so you're from Freehold, New Jersey.
Correct.
And, there's a different kind of mindset in different states. And I'm not going to talk shit about New Jersey. I'm not from New Jersey, but it is a different mindset than New York City. There's a different kind of grind out here. So I feel like also because you're from New Jersey, you have to hustle a little bit more because it's different when you say, oh, I'm from New York because it's New York strong. But when you say you're from New Jersey, it's like a lot of people will say, oh, that's the fake New York.
Yeah, it's like we're like their shadow. But really, we're like...
You're coming up.
All right, look, I'll put it like this. I think Jersey people have it more than New York people. I feel like New Yorkers are talkers for the most part, but you're in this major city where you have access to so many different people that it's easier. You know, like for example, my town, it's not that many people, you
Yeah,
know. But you in Brooklyn, you have access to like you're gonna walk past 5,000 people, right? You know, when you walk outside, which is crazy.
You're bound to run into a superstar. You're bound to run into someone who could help you get to the next level. I ran into Umi in Brooklyn.
That's crazy.
Just going to
smoothie shop. Happen in Brooklyn.
Yep,
exactly.
You know, like,
you're
exactly.
Not doing that in Jersey. You might bump into Joe Budden, like, you know, or somebody in Edgewater for the most part. But
yeah, no, that's true. So that's cool to see that you've been hustling in New York City and also especially in Toronto. So tell me how you got connected with a lot of people in Toronto.
So shout out to Skits. He's Pressa's manager. Shout out Pressa as well. They're a really solid group of individuals. Like Skits kind of just brought me in. Like he met me one day in LA. And from there he just started plugging me. He believed in like what I was doing. He started plugging me with all these different artists and different even curators out there. And then from there I told him like, yo, I want to come to Toronto and meet like, you know, the people you plugged me with, like all my clients. And from there, like he was like, yeah, come on. And it was the first Rolling Loud Toronto. So I got to experience all of that. And I got to see what like their actual impact out there. Like Pressa is huge in Toronto, in Canada.
That's crazy. Like, and it was his first Rolling Loud, right?
Yes, his first Rolling Loud in Toronto. No, that's in Toronto, their first. Their
first.
So Rolling Loud's first Toronto.
Got you.
Yes.
So they must have been excited.
But that was his first time there in 4 years. Because Pressa's been in like the U.S. for like the past 4 years.
Yeah. So what did you do for him while you were out there, and your clients out there?
Honestly, I didn't do anything. I was there for like his rehearsals. I met with some of the other people on his team because that's what I'm working with, some of the artists under his label. I also met with another client of mine who Skits also plugged me with. Skits showed me around to his studio. He showed me the city. So it was kind of like a getaway, but I wanted to meet the people I'm about to do business with. You know, put a face to who you've been talking to on the phone. Yeah, you know?
You wanted to have that in-person connection with them because, you know, why would someone invest in you if you're not even investing time to shake their hand?
You know, and then now, you know, NateTaylorr, his project actually drops this Friday, Signs of Luxury. So make sure you go get that.
Always got to plug it.
Yeah, but we have our tour date in Toronto now. Like if I didn't go to Toronto and actually meet my, you know, some of my clients, you know, everyone has different relationships. Yeah. Now we could do a tour date out there, you know, and that's where we're starting the tour off in Toronto.
That's cool. So when is that going to happen?
November 9th.
Wow. And what other cities are you touring?
NYC, LA, and we want to go to Germany, but it's hard communicating.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It's hard.
But where in Germany? Are you going to Berlin?
Hamburg.
Oh, I don't know how the English is in Hamburg.
Yeah, like, you know, they answer me through DM, but like when I email them, they're like, oh, we're going to get back to you through DM, and then email, they never get back to me. So I just have to figure it out. But that's where like the main, you know, buzz is in Hamburg.
Yeah, got you.
We have Berlin as well, Stuttgart. I don't know how to say it. I might be butchering that, but you know. But I feel like right now I'm just not afraid to like go do things that other people aren't doing. And I feel like as an artist, you got to go touch these people.
Yeah.
You know? And that's it. It's not going to fall in your lap. I feel like a lot of artists, they just think this thing just happens, and it's like, no, you create it.
Yeah.
You have to apply pressure, especially in the music business. Like no one just gives you a handout. Everyone's going to overlook you. If you want to be talented in that corner, they will leave you in that corner.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
You're very good at marketing. How did you, or not even just marketing, you're good at digital marketing, you're good at creative direction, you're good at assembling a team and being a good leader. Where did some of these skills come from?
Honestly, I don't know. It kind of just happened, but
you just pulled them out of your ass.
I do have a lot of brothers. I don't know where it stems from, but I just feel like it got to a point where I didn't know I was as great as I was until people started like telling me, or like, you know, when I go out and they be like, yo, you're doing this, and I don't look at my wins. Like I'm such a forward thinker. I'm like, I'm not there yet. Like y'all only see my wins. I don't see, you know, I'm not there yet. You know, like some people think I'm rich. I'll be like, what is wrong with y'all? But this is the power of social media. And this is why I feel like a lot of people are lost and don't know who they are because they get sucked into social media and they think they need things that these people have.
Yeah.
And they don't even know how these people got them or what type of person that is. Like for example, like Lil Baby, you watch his interviews, like you could tell he's a hustler.
Yeah.
He's not at the top of the game for no reason. You know, he's at the top of the game because he's not me.
Yep.
He said, I don't got 100 mil yet. I can't chill yet. Somebody will get $1 million and be like, I'm good.
Yeah.
You know? So, you know, I just use the same type of mindset, I don't look back.
Where's the confidence come from? I'm sure there were times where you doubted yourself and that you've been maybe insecure about starting certain things and like trying new things. I know you said you like to challenge yourself earlier, but where did that new confidence come from? Or is it more like you're faking it until you're making it?
No, I think it came from me just being right a bunch of times to where like I just trust my intuition at this point.
Yeah.
And I'm just not afraid to do anything.
It's powerful to trust your intuition. I think it gets you to a lot of places when you start believing and manifesting a lot of the things that you want in life.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you have done such a great job at building your business, because every time, at least the first time that I met you, you came up, you introduced yourself, you were like, I already know who you are, I've been watching Finesse Media. And the energy that you gave off that night, just by being so professional and friendly and having already done your research on who I was so powerful that I was like, I'm going to keep you in my lane. And when you reached out and asked if I would work with you, I was like, absolutely, no question about it. You just have this great energy about you that I think that's one of the reasons why your friend Skits
Yes.
probably gravitated towards you and wanted to bring you around to all of the different people in your network. Because I think that you definitely are going to move forward because you also give back. So where did that giving back mentality come from?
My mom. I've always been a giving person too, like, but I get it from my mom because she will give her last to somebody, and that's honestly what kind of put me in position. Like I always wanted to do for other people, and it kind of got me where I am, because even if they didn't see what was going on, like I took it as like I was right about this.
Yeah.
And like once I kept being right about things, like I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do whatever I feel like I want to do.
Yeah.
And I don't care what no one has to say. I'll show you. And it landed me in so many different scenarios, like a Skits believing in me, like a NateTaylorr believing in me. Like getting these type of cosigns, like
Yeah.
How could you not believe in yourself at that point?
Yeah.
So I've always been a giving person. Like I want to see everyone win. I don't have no ego. Like no ego.
Yeah. What kinds of things would people say to you before you started your business? Or maybe even now during your business?
You can't do that. When I was working at jobs, you're going to be here 10 years from now with me, like those type of things. I had some people who be like, they see it in me like, yo, you really like driven, like, and I always do what I say I'm going to do. That's one thing people respect about me. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
But I mean, those were the things, a lot of people just don't see it.
Yeah.
And some people get discouraged from that, but you can't. At the end of the day, like your vision is your vision for a reason.
Yeah.
Like when you're a visionary, like that's how you have to look at it. My vision is my vision, not if you wouldn't be a visionary or wouldn't be your vision if everyone could see it. So if you take that and run with it, like you can do whatever you put your mind to. You just gotta put the work in.
Yeah. Earlier you were talking about impact in the very beginning of our chat. So I want to go back to that a little bit. When you say that you want to make an impact, what kind of impact do you want to make?
Honestly, I want to be able to create a space for visionaries like myself. And I want to be able to make a lot of multimillionaires. I want to continue to help people do what they want to do in life. And I feel like that gives me peace. I'd be so happy when like someone wanted to do something and we're doing it, I don't know, it's no better feeling than that. And I just want to be able to take care of my family as well, but others too, because if I help you, you might have 10 people that can affect as well. So if we help 1,000 people, you do the math.
Yeah. What are some of the favorite projects that you've worked on?
Favorite projects. Honestly, I love working with Major LaQueen. That's one of my clients right now. Shout out her. Obviously NateTaylorr. We dropped Life's a Luxury. That was like the breakout, for my marketing and my that's what honestly made me create the agency. Once we had a wonderful rollout with that, amazing. Lastly, which is one of my favorites, is 7 Late Nights Deluxe. I basically executive produced that whole project, like just putting it together. I mixed and mastered the whole project, song wrote on a couple songs, but just the creative direction of where I wanted to take it, and
Mhm.
where like me and him like kind of sat down and seen the vibe. What we created was just timeless. Like to where we
Mm.
landed, being in a room with Sony and RCA off of one rollout,
Yeah.
and like certain things just showed me like you're not crazy,
Yeah. Mhm.
and from there. But I think those are my favorite projects as of right now.
Did you ever consider going more so on I mean, you do a bit of both. You do the creative side, you work on the creative side, you mix and master, you engineer. You also are on the business side. You're, helping negotiate deals, helping secure deals.
Yep.
You're working with the artists on, creating content, which I guess on the creative side, and then you also do the rollout. So have you ever considered, just honing in on the creative side?
Explain.
So instead of focusing a lot of your energy on, the marketing rollouts for other artists,
Mhm.
or I guess doing the business for other artists and helping other artists get their business together. Have you ever considered becoming the artist yourself?
Yes, but I feel like I gotta stay in my lane because, like, Alexi, when I tell you there's nothing I can't do, there's nothing I can't do. Like my artists tell me, yo, you need to like, because I've helped my artists learn how to rap. Like it's, I know what to do, but I'd rather stay in like the song writing space. If anything, I have a writing team, so yeah, I don't want to be an artist.
Yeah, you like the business side.
Yeah, I love the business side, and I feel like I am an artist in my lane.
I like that. Okay, if you could give some advice to an aspiring entrepreneur or someone who's maybe a multifaceted creator.
Mm-hmm.
So if you could give any advice to a multifaceted creator, what are 3 pieces of advice that you would give?
Believe in yourself. Know yourself. Because if you don't know who you are, nothing's going to work for you. And people who do know themselves are going to pick up that you're a little off because, you're not a leader. You're just doing things just to do it, which don't work out. And I would just say be consistent. Whatever you do, just start and be consistent. All you have to do is start.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if you just look up, your competitors today. Like it could be anything. Just start, and I'll give some advice for like artists as well. Market your music, create content, market your content, but first and foremost, like figure out what's your why. I feel like a lot of artists, they don't know why they're doing it, or their brand is just something they created.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like my brand 1012 and like the in-house agency, like 1012 for one, like this is deeper than, like my best friend's birthday was 1012 like mine, and he passed. And when he passed and I was in college, that's what made me take what I was doing serious. So like there is no stopping for me. It's a bigger cause behind what I'm doing. I feel like artists, you need to have a why. So when there are all those days where things are slow and you're not feeling it, you gotta be able to push yourself out of that.
Yeah.
But if you don't have a why, then it's like you could do that for 2 years. Like 2 years go by. You know.
So tell me about your brand, 1012.
So 1012 is a record label. I have 1012 Records and 1012 Entertainment. But we treat our merch like a clothing line. And I wear it every day.
I like the sweatsuit.
Thank you.
I like this green too.
I appreciate it.
It matches the
oh yeah, it does. It's crazy. And it's very earthy,
Yeah.
I feel like I just wanted to wear. We just released this, by the way. It's on pre-order up until October 22nd.
Nice.
Everything will be exclusive, but yeah, I like clothes too. Like I don't want to I don't want to hinder myself to anything. I want to do whatever I put my mind to. And again, these aren't things that I just thought about doing. It's just I would do what I'm doing already, and someone would be like, "Yo, I like that.
Yeah.
Yo, I like that." And it's just like, all right, well, okay.
I like that you don't put yourself in a box, because since you're not putting yourself in a box, you've opened a lot of doors for yourself. A lot of people have gravitated towards you, especially in the last couple of weeks, I think, or last couple of months. In the pandemic, even just, the first time that we met each other was, I think, sometime last year. In the last year, I've seen you post more content. I've seen you be outside more. I've seen you been talking to more people. I've seen your follower growth. I've seen your website grow. It's so cool to see the growth. And I think a lot of it is because you're not putting yourself in a box. So one of the questions I want to ask you about is, what what inspires you to keep creating? Because you're doing so many different things, but you're not burning out from it. At least you haven't yet. And maybe correct me if I'm wrong.
I'm gonna correct you. So I have my moments where I burn out, right?
Okay.
I don't hang out with people. Like I literally don't hang out with nobody. Like I like being alone because I feel like I can think at my highest ability, and people don't be doing nothing. You know, and if you're not on my type of time, what I want to do, or just creative, or just not thinking like the norm, I don't really want to hang around you. So I get burnt out a lot because I'm always by myself. And sometimes I just be sitting at home in my own head sometimes. Yeah. But what was the question? I'm sorry.
How do you stay creative?
How do I stay creative? Honestly, I just feel like life for me is bigger than me. I want to make sure my family's impacted for generations. So it's bigger than me. That's what drives me.
Yeah.
My mom has cancer. So everything's rushed for me. I need to make sure I want to be able to take care of her,
Yeah.
It's bigger than me. I don't do things for myself. That's one thing about me. I don't do things for myself.
Yeah. And that probably trickles down to your artists a lot. So tell me about how you've worked with your artists, your clients. What are some of the things that you've been able to accomplish with them?
Honestly, building character for one, because it's literally like having a kid. I promise you. You can instill, but it's great seeing the growth because you can instill things in them that they just weren't taught when they were brought up, or they didn't have siblings. It's little things that people don't pay attention to.
Yeah.
But as far as the agency, we like to help with just honestly bringing you a team. That digital marketing, content creation, just overall being there to help you make decisions. Video production, just giving you the look and selling an experience. That's what we want to sell. That's what we want to bring to the table. We want to help creators do what they see themselves doing. Some people, most artists, they make music and they don't know how to sell it. They don't even know what it's supposed to look like. Me, I can see that just from listening to it. So I feel like that's what I like to add to working with my clients and my own team.
Yeah. So the clients that you're working with right now, tell me a little bit more about them. Who are they? What do you like about the projects that you're working on with them? The ones that you can't say.
Okay. I don't want to say one or just a couple because then I'll leave some out. Gotcha. But I do have, I have this, I'm going to talk about Ariana. So I have this 10-year-old client, right? Her mom handles everything. She's been on Steve Harvey. Right now, she's about to be on Jimmy Kimmel. She's been on multiple movies. This is the smartest little girl I've ever encountered with. So I started working with her on the music side too, because now she's making music. So I'm developing her music. I'm mixing, mastering. I'm giving insight, and I love working with her because she's the future. That's the future of the generation. So to see someone at that age work harder than some of the people I'm working with, I'm not joking. This girl is different, and I love working with just new talent and people who do different things. Because let me tell you something that happened recently. So my artist 7 Late Nights, right? He's getting a sync placement, and then the sync company ends up seeing him, and we're like, "Yo, we want you to audition for this role." So now this is totally new for the both of us. But now I could call her mom, my client's mom, who has so much experience in this field, and she coached him through the whole thing, which is so crazy that one door leads to another.
Wow.
Another client I love working with is Major LaQueen. She's one of the hardest workers. Her aesthetic is crazy. She's crazy.
Yeah.
I love her work. She be on top of me, and that's hard because I be having to be on top of other people.
Yeah.
So someone who can make you, work more, I love it. Destiny Brianna, she's an R&B artist, based in Houston, but she's from Atlanta.
Nice.
She's it.
Yeah.
We're working on
Atlanta artists are hard.
Yeah, they are. I like Atlanta. I just was there last month. Shout out Mark from Human Resources. There's just a lot of love out there.
Yeah.
We were on a press run. We went to Dirty Glove Bastard. That was a cool platform as well. They were mad cool.
Yeah. So you do all these different projects, and you work on a lot of different types of campaigns for artists.
It's hard.
Yeah, I'm sure. If you had to, if someone came up to you and they said to you, "Hey, Foreign, I need help on building up my music brand. I want to, sell out stadiums one day. I want to become a superstar." Where do you start with them?
And they have nothing started?
Let's say they got
Because
maybe.
that's the thing. Everyone's at a different point.
Yeah, that's
all of my
true.
clients come in at a different point. So that's why like even like giving a price point is so hard because some person might need more, or you know, we might have to go through that phase where we're still figuring out your niche, you know? So everything's different.
Let's say maybe they have maybe a couple thousand followers. So they
have a catalog.
Let's say they have 5 to 8 songs.
Okay. I would suggest, for one, dropping more music frequently because people's attention spans now are very short. You don't have to push every song you drop. The whole reasoning for dropping the record is to figure out what's working so you can allocate your budget to it. You know, but most artists, they're just like, oh, I want to do this, and next one is this, and next one is that. So I would tell them, you know, build your catalog. Make sure you're developing your sound to where it's different. Don't try to blend in, you know, because even if you do make it, it's not going to last because they can go get that sound 10 other places, you know? Build a team. Definitely build a team.
Hire 10-12.
Hire the in-house agency. 10-12 we handle management as well. But I think the last thing I was going to say is record yourself. Make sure you're recording yourself. I feel like in 2022, you're not a serious artist if you don't record yourself. You don't have to know how to mix and master yourself yet, but for you to be able to record at will and create as many songs as possible, that's what's going to turn you into LeBron James, you know? Most artists think they're just supposed to be LeBron. It's like, bro, you didn't put in no work.
Yeah.
You know? And network. Go outside.
Go outside.
That's another thing. Because relationships are more important than money. I promise you.
What do you think about the virtual space, like networking online versus networking in person?
They both have their pros and cons, right? So the way you interact with somebody, like first impression could be, you know, could say a lot, you know? So you might just say something wrong to some people take it serious, like, you don't hit me up like that, you know? Like, you know, you might just come off the wrong way. So pay attention to that. There's pros and cons. I like networking in person, but on the phone, I'm great too because I could just sell myself so good. You know, like I know what I'm doing, I know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna make you feel comfortable. But as far as on social media, it's dope too. I've met a lot of people on social media as well, and I maintained a lot of relationships on social media.
Yeah. Last question is, if you could. Actually, I think I want to change it. Where do you see yourself in let's say the next 10 years? What would you like to be doing?
Honestly, whatever I want. I want to be traveling the world. Well, by that time, I probably would have traveled the world already. I'll probably just be raising my kids at that point. That's why I'm going so hard in my 20s. Because like 30s are like, okay, like, I need to be making money in my sleep by 30, you know? So 10 years, I'll be 37. I need to be good, like well off. Yeah. You know?
Wait, actually, one last question. If you could go anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Greece.
Greece?
But my favorite spot is Aruba. I've been there so many times.
I love Aruba.
I love Aruba too.
Aruba is so beautiful. Bright blue waters.
The vibe, you can't get those vibes nowhere. It's like the breeze is perfect. The everything, and then you don't feel like you're out of the country because everyone can speak English. They make you feel comfortable. Yeah, you know, that's my thing. When I go places and I don't speak the language, it's like I don't know what you're saying.
But that's another challenge in itself. You said you like to challenge yourself, so
I have. When I went to DR, I left the resort. I was nervous, you know, but when I left, I was like, yo, everyone looks like me.
You don't speak any Spanish?
I need to learn though. I need to learn. I have a god brother who's Spanish, but he was like our guide when we were out there. He was listening to
you were relying on him.
I had no choice, honestly.
Greece is cool. I haven't been there, but you know, you see all those beautiful pictures of the white homes. Yeah, Greece is on my list, and then Croatia. If you get a chance to go to Croatia, Croatia's cool. King's Landing from Game of Thrones.
You know where I want to stay at too? I want to stay at one of those, like, what do you call bungalows? Like,
bungalows.
I want to stay in one of those. Like, that's one of my things too. Like,
one of the villas.
Yes, on the water. Something. I'm fake bougie. Like, I like to do like things that aren't regular.
I like to get a nice hotel and then eat a bunch of street food. That's my thing.
Street food. Give me an example, because
street food, like the street cars. You know, you get Kind of like taco tracks.
Okay. See, I'm a pescatarian, so I don't really eat that type of stuff.
You can have vegetarian tacos.
Yeah. The only time I'm doing something like that is if we leave an event late at night and there's these trucks are here. Other than that, like I'm trying to eat something like
healthy. You want some smoothie bowls and some acai bowls?
Correct. Or I want to eat good and go out, like restaurant.
Got you.
I'm bad.
I'm a big foodie. We're gonna have to go out sometime, grab some
down.
good food. Cool. Well, thank you,
Thank
Florian,
you,
for spending some time with me and answering my questions. I'm really excited to see your upcoming projects. I'm going to be, maybe I got to get one of those 10-12
we're gonna get you some
jumpsuits.
10-12. We're gonna get you some 10-12. Make sure you guys stay in tune with Lexi. She is a phenomenal person and entrepreneur. You inspire me.
Thank you. Well, you inspire me, Florian. I'm really glad to have gotten a chance to connect with you. And everybody, go follow Florian, the leader of
follow
the next
the in-house
generation.
agency.
The in-house agency.
Follow 10-12 Records.
10-12 Records.
Follow Nate Taylor. Follow 7 Late Nights. Follow G. Follow all my artists.
Cool. Thank you, everybody. It was a pleasure being here. We out.